more humble.
So it's crazy.
I feel like the internet gave you.
Welcome back to another episode of Think Successfully. This is a podcast where we focus on building mindsets. We building character, bringing value to both you and your people, and aligning your body with your intelligence. I'm your host, Q.B Amaazn. And right now, I got my homie, Dwayne Wilson, man. How you feeling, God?
Feeling good to be here, baby.
Man,
Yes,
appreciate you for sliding,
yes, sir.
bro.
We in the building.
Man, I want to keep it real straightforward, real brief, man. You're a very intellectual guy as far as the space of finances. What got you? Is it a story behind what led you onto that journey?
Oh man, funny story for me. So moved out here, started off as an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, yo, let me go into the realm of business because I realized that, you know what, the people in tech, they got a little bit more skill than me.
Right.
So I had the gift of gab. I'm like, yo, I can manipulate, you know, how I move about in the business sector.
Mm-hmm.
So went in as a program manager. I'm like, I want to know more about business.
Right.
Then I realized, I said, yo, I need to be able to make money for myself. I got started in finance through Forex. So I started trading currencies that way. My very first day, I was like, yo, I put in $200, lost it the very next day within hours.
Man, my fault for cutting, man, bro. When you done, I got a story behind Forex, man. That shit crazy. Yeah.
So literally just, that's literally how it all started. I was literally drafting up a business plan for my real estate business at first. Mm-hmm. And there's one guy I was on Instagram taking a break from that, and he was talking about Forex, and boom. It intrigued me because, again, it was like, yo, I can make money on my own without being dependent on someone else.
Right.
And that's what intrigued me about it. And ever since then, just been hooked to finance.
Man, before I go in, man, I wanna share a quick story with Forex, man. I want to say was that 2020 when they was passing out them stimulus checks?
Yep.
Yeah. So I want to say, and I'm actually on my second Instagram, by the way, my second IG, because my first one got hacked at 10,000. So a guy contacted me like, yeah, you want to make some extra money. And anytime money is in there,
where you going with this one.
Anytime that extra money come, I'm like, hey man, what's up, man? What you got going on?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, man, have you heard of Forex? And of course I didn't, but I'm always skeptical on everything. And he was like, look, this is what you need to do is purchase Bitcoin, and then ship it to, I forgot the name of the website that they had created. And supposedly the money I invested into it,
mm-hmm.
it was doubling.
Yeah,
you know
I know
you're
talking about. You talking
had,
about? I think it was IPC or WTC or something like that.
It was something it was some type of abbreviation going on, and I was like, man, I just got a stimulus check in my mind. I'm like, man, I just got a stimulus check. I'm gonna invest this shit, man.
Yep.
So I went in and bought the Bitcoin, and then sent the Bitcoin to the Forex exchange
mm-hmm.
that he had,
mm-hmm.
and I'm seeing the money double.
Yep.
But the thing is that I couldn't access it. But he kept wanting me to purchase Bitcoin. It was like, yeah, if you do this one more time and you'll have access to the funds. I'm like, hey, hold on, bro. At this point, bro, you done took my whole stimulus check.
Yep.
And
it was a wrap.
And yeah, I guess he got upset because whatever he wanted me to do, he was going to gain access to the funds. And I'm not really sure how, but he pretty much wiped my whole account at 10K, man.
Easy.
Quick
I'm
like, yeah, that was fucked up, man. And that I think that's what got me into Forex at the point, because I'm like, man, let me go ahead and dive deeper into this and research. Yep. And even still, 2-3 years later, I'm still researching Forex before I decide to actually put money into the market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look here, brother. The rule of thumb is this: trust the broker. If you can't trust the broker, wherever your money's sitting at, don't even do it.
And that's the thing. I kept doing research. I was doing research for like a week straight, and something in my mind was like, man, this seemed legit. So I kind of just took a leap of faith, and it turned out like that.
Yep.
Man, so it was a question I wanted to ask you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The first question is, I come across a lot of individuals that feel life insurance is not worth it. Do you mind explaining why life insurance is definitely worth it?
Well, number one, life insurance is the most cost-effective way for generational wealth.
Facts.
Like literally, let's keep it very simple, right? A term policy, and now again, for everybody, every age, every size, every condition, right? It's completely different, but let's just do the math. Simple scenario. $50 a month could probably get someone a $300,000 policy. Where are you going to be able to get that type of cash in an emergency? And what people don't recognize is that you're thinking that you're just paying for the death benefit, but you're also paying for the additional riders that's associated with it. And so people don't recognize that you got the terminal illness rider, the critical and chronic illness riders, where if you just somehow, some way, for whatever reason, end up in the hospital and one of those conditions apply, now you got up to $300K that you got access to.
Right. Facts.
So it's needed. And then on top of that, when you get into the permanent life insurance, and there's so many strategies that I've learned in my journey as to how the wealthy are utilizing it, people are not recognizing that this is how the wealthy, you see the headlines of why they pay $0 in taxes. It's because they're using life insurance policies.
Facts. That's a big fact. So with life insurance, man, a lot of people don't understand also is that you can't really have a solid financial plan without life insurance being a topic.
Right.
And, and obviously, if you are an individual that has generated a lot of wealth, in a sense, life insurance may not make sense for you, but then you have a lot, at least 90% of us, it's only a small percentage of people that have accumulated wealth. Right. But then there's a large percentage also that has not reached that milestone. And that could be a way for them to purchase wealth instead of trying to accumulate it. So the second question I want to go into is, they may ask, do I really need life insurance? Would you mind explaining why life insurance is something that's a need?
You may have to put the timer on for me on this one because I can go deep.
Oh man!
So look at number one, we all need it because, as I said, we need to establish generational wealth. Now, before we even get there, because sometimes that go over people's heads, right? So let's make sure we're talking to all audiences across the board that's listening to this amazing podcast. Okay. Number one, the basic thing is that people need to be able to cover a funeral expense.
Fact.
And unfortunately, I'll keep this story short to the point. I had a client where she was convicted to get life insurance because she had an auntie who passed away and her daughter had no funds to cover the life insurance to cover the funeral expenses. She told me then that aunt's daughter passes away the next year. And what ends up happening is that the church will allow you to, host your funeral. Great. They literally closed the doors, would not allow them to leave until the funeral expenses were paid in full. In the middle of the church service, they're handing around the bucket to accumulate as much funds as they needed to be able to allow the cast to go to the burial site.
Damn.
They get to the burial site. The funeral home has the gates closed. They drive the hearse to the gate. They have it closed because they have not paid all the expenses to bury the daughter. Wow. And so now she tells me that someone's outside with a baseball cap going down the funeral line where all the cars at, asking for more money just so that they can bury the person.
Damn.
So that's number one. We need it for that reason because not a lot of people got $10,000, $15,000 readily available to just pay for a funeral expense.
Right. Damn.
Now, I'm pretty sure in some communities, they've heard stories about how they call the mama, they call the sons, they call the daughters, the cousins, the aunties and uncles, and nobody coming up with the cash.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, you get that taken care of. You don't have to worry about a GoFundMe, right? But also too, I mentioned already the health benefits, so I don't want to go into that, but that's just having all those riders associated with it. Worst case scenario, you always have cash available. Now, here's what people don't recognize. You have made a good point in saying that a lot of people don't get to the point of establishing or amassing a great amount of wealth.
Yeah.
And so then you think that you don't need it because you're not wealthy. But what people don't recognize is that the right way to think about it is that if the wealthy are doing it, then I should too.
Facts.
And so wealthy people actually put majority, if not all, I'm not gonna say all, but let's say majority of their money in life insurance policies. Why? Because they offer benefits such as tax advantages. They also offer benefits such as they don't lose money when they have money in a cash value life insurance policies. These policies are designed so therefore it shelters them from taking losses in the stock market. Someone like a Warren Buffett, he's not leaving all of his money in the stock market. Like they're big on preservation.
I want to add, my fault for cutting your wheels off, bro. I want to add, because I want them to understand that life insurance policies offers 4 things, man. That's liquidity, safety, predictable rate of return, and then a tax advantage.
Absolutely.
And then I'll let you continue.
You just hit it. You just hit it on the head. Like this is again like and also too, you guys can also research U.S. banks life insurance. When you do that, you'll see that Bank of America has, I believe, like $23 trillion in life insurance assets. Banks are trading your money, and then they're investing in the stock in the life insurance policy, because if something was to happen, life insurance is the only financial tool that is in black and white guarantee this is what you'll get paid out. Facts.
That's a big fact.
The only thing.
People don't understand that, man. That's why when it comes to putting my money in banks, that's exactly how we should look at it. Is that it's one thing to go on your bank app and let's just assume you put $5,000 into that into your checkings account.
Yep.
Right. You can log into your banking app and it'll say, look, you have $5,000 available. But do you really have $5,000 available? This is just how much they owe you. But best believe they took that $5K and they have invested it elsewhere.
Absolutely. Man, and the wealthy don't hold cash.
No, never. It doesn't.
People don't know that.
It doesn't make sense to. I definitely want people to, do further research, and that's why I bring, guys like yourself onto this platform, because I want people to know the importance of that. Right? They'll sit here that tax season, that 5K tax return come in and hit their checks account. People, I got 5,000. Nah, the bank got 5,000. Man,
right.
They finna go ahead and invest that.
Right.
Man, the third thing I want to jump into, man, is how do we diversify? Because it was a lot that you had to say regarding that topic.
Yeah.
So what is the best way that we can diversify?
There are so many ways that we can diversify, but I'll keep it simple because we want to touch all audiences, right? Number one, diversify by starting with a savings account.
Okay.
Right. Don't have all your money sitting in a checking account. Save, because at least with the interest rates going up, the bank's interest rates are going up too for a savings account. Right. So like you can go with like an Ally right now. Ally is doing over 4% interest rate, right? And that's you don't have to have a minimum balance in there to get that. So let's start with that. Number two, you want to, again, as we discussed, you need life insurance. That would be the second tool that I have. Start off with a term policy if you can afford a cash value or permanent life insurance policy.
Right.
But I recommend a permanent cash value life insurance policy because the younger you are, then the less costly it is. Unfortunately, I have individuals in my space where they're in their 50s not knowing about cash value life insurance, and now they're like, oh, how can I get involved with that? You can, but now the entry fee is just that much more. So definitely want to get that as soon as possible. Even if you're a parent, you can open up a policy for your child as soon as they hit 14 days old. And you can use their policy actually to continuously add more and more in there. If people don't know that.
You talking about the cash value?
The cash value life insurance policies, right?
I didn't know
that. So yeah, I got a 1-year-old setting that up for her right away.
Smart.
Right. So then you have the value. Then let's say now for those of you that are working, right? This is for individuals who are acquiring or looking to establish wealth. You're working a job. 2 things you can do. Obviously, the number one thing is invest in a 401k. I always recommend that only if your company is matching it. If they're going to match the 401k, take the free money.
That's key.
Right? Now, the 401k, though, keep in mind, it is a government program. It is technically an IRS code 401k.
Man, bro, if you got time, I know we tight on time, man. Yeah. We need a quick brief.
I'm about to dive in. I'm about to go give him the sauce. I'm about to talk saucy to him.
Yeah, go ahead and give him that sauce, man.
The 401k benefits the government more than it benefits the individual. And when I get to the second investment account, you're gonna understand why. If I'm not mistaken, in 2023, the maximum contribution to a 401k is like $22,500. So a lot of people have the goal to say, oh, I'm about to max out this 401k because I want to save for investments. I want to save for retirement, But then what people are missing out on is that money will get taxed. The money will get taxed. So here's the question I ask all of my clients as I go through their financial strategy. And we talk about 401k, and the next one I'm going to bring up is, would you rather get taxed on the apple, or would you rather get taxed on the apple tree?
Yeah, that's the big question. Yeah.
I'll let you guys think about that one.
Yeah.
But the second account then is the Roth IRA. See, the Roth IRA, the government knows that if you put all your money in the Roth IRA, they're not going to get a lot of money back. Why? Because now you've already said, hey, you know what, out of this is say you contributing $500 a month, whatever the case may be, because I think it's a max contribution of only $7,500.
Right.
Let's go into why that is. They're allowing you to max out up to $22,500 on the 401k, but only $7,500 on the Roth. Why? Because if you max out the 401k, that's more money down the line after 20, 40 years of investing. But in the Roth, that's less money. But because you're going to get taxed on the 401k, but you're not going to get taxed on your capital gains in the Roth IRA. So therefore, that's less money that they can bank on, that they can capitalize on at the end of your 40, however long you have it invested in there.
Wow.
And so I tell my clients all the time that get the match because it's free money, but then start to max out the Roth IRA. And a lot of people are trying to say, well, I want this tax deduction. Again, you're likely going to pay more in taxes in your 401k than as you know, the Roth IRA pays none.
Right.
So when my clients begin to see the full picture, now they're like, okay, hold up. I started with a savings account, so I'm getting money there. You told me about a cash value life insurance. That's going to grow at a similar rate as it is in the stock market. So now if I invest in that tool, now I'm not going to lose money on that. So that's security while at the same time I'm growing. Absolutely just makes sense. So then in truth and reality, the Roth IRA is just the icing on the cake. Because now if the stock market goes 20, 30%, in a booming market, I'm capitalizing on all of those gains. And I'm not having to pay on those taxes either. And so then what I do for my clients is that's all stock market and all finances. Now we got to get involved with real estate. We have to make sure that we always have a positive cash flow coming in that's not dependent on the stock market. And so now with my clients get involved in real estate, now they're getting a whole package of, I got a tax advantage strategy. I've secured my family financially. I've also secured our health, because if you look at life insurance policy with the riders, that's like that's a boost to your medical coverage. If you think about it, right? Your health insurance does not cover everything.
Right.
So now that you got that, now you straight. So again, I recommend all of the full package from all my clients, because now they're fully protected, have a full suite of products, and literally nothing can touch them.
Bro, I want to give you your credit on something, man. Over the weekend, I heard Andre Pennington say something that hit my heart. He said a man does not fail his family.
Right.
And you doing very well at that, bro. Man, definitely appreciate
That's what it's all about,
that knowledge, man. Appreciate that sauce, bro. Man, Dwayne Wilson, man, appreciate you for sliding, bro.
Absolutely,
Man,
appreciate you having me, man.
We definitely got to do this again, man, because this shit was solid, man. There was no dead space on what to try to think about. Everything was organized. We gave the audience the sauce, the gems that they needed, and hopefully the ideas. Hopefully they take this information and it hits something in their mind and they go do further research on what they just heard.
We're just planting seeds.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, man. And another thing, man, I want y'all to think about what he said is, would you rather get taxed on the apple or would you rather get taxed on the apple tree? That's something you have to decipher and think about, because it's very important, man. So without that being said, y'all, life is good. Life is wonderful. Be blessed to be alive. Self-sufficiency is how you survive. To the kings and queens, to the guys and goddess, forever and always, think successfully. Yeah.